So, hello everybody, here's your Knight Sebastian Power-Sieger. Welcome to this video from siaembassy.com. siaembassy.com is a website which is informing about ancestors communication or communication with ghosts, or to be more specific, communication with creatures which have lived as human beings before and which have lost their own human body. And today I'm going to communicate with a creature which is the granddad of a man called Suleiman Khatip, and I have watched a documentation or a live series, let me say it like that, on a German channel called ZDF. And the title of that live series was Einstige Kämpfer streiten für Frieden in Nahost. So that was German. And it means fighters from the past to fight for peace in the Middle East. So it was a ZDF Heute Live documentation or series. And the question was how the hate could be overcome. So the hate in the Middle East. So I'm communicating soon with the creator who have lived as a man before and who have lost his own human body. And this creator did identify himself as the grandfather of Suleiman Khatip. And the man Suleiman Khatip is the man in this video series which I just described from the ZDF, so that you can understand that. So to Suleiman Khatip, if you get the video, please watch it closely. And the identification of the creator, I will repeat that with the creator, because it is important that the creator can identify himself. To Suleiman Khatip and to all the people which are watching the videos which do not know my videos. So I'm going to present you in this video universal communication. I'm going to communicate with this creator which have lived as a man before and which have lost his human body. And because he do not have his human body anymore, he have to communicate with you, the people which are watching the video, on a different way, because he can't speak out with his own human body. And because of that he lost his own human body, of course the identification and stuff like that is very, very important. Okay, the creator which have lived as a man before is today able to connect in symbiosis with the natural environment, and he's able to canalize the wind. That's why you see the wind tools hanging here. Okay, please let your eyes get used to the wind tools and to the natural environment surrounding this garden and this garden, because the creator is able to use the wind to influence the natural environment and to canalize the wind specific to this wind tools. If you watch closely, you can see on this side of the wind tool you do not see a star, and when the wind tool turns you can see on the other side a golden star. I'm gonna explain that. The creator which have lived as a man before can canalize the wind specific. Now he's presenting you the golden star. And the side with the golden star he can use if he want to say to specific questions yes. Or he also just can use a higher wind level if he wants to agree to stuff I speak out, or also if he wants to say yes. So the creator have two different ways how he can say yes. He can just use a higher wind level and canalize the wind very specific to the wind tools, or he can present you the star to say yes. And if he wants to say specifically no, then we can work with the star side and no side, and the creator can communicate a yes or a no by this system for your better understanding. Okay, and in that way, well, first of all, we're gonna demonstrate it to you. And if I say we, I mean the creator which have lived as a man before, which is canalizing the wind. So please watch the wind tools. Can you demonstrate that and canalize more wind to the wind tools so that the people see the wind tools flying more? Now he turned the star of that wind tool, which I use as a main wind tool with him, into the direction of my eye, as you could see it. Okay? And now he's triggering the wind. So he said yes. and he's gonna start to canalize the wind, and then when he's doing that, then you're gonna see that the wind tools start to fly more, because more wind is reaching this wind tool. Okay, so he's presenting the star to the camera. So to the creator, can you please demonstrate that once, and then we can start with your identification process in front of the camera. That would be great. So can you demonstrate once that you can use the wind specific by using a higher wind level? He's saying yes with the star. And now watch this wind tool closely, please. Now you can see that more wind is reaching this tool, but the creator have to use a lot of more wind because Cut, Neustart, Neustart. Und die Action Camps sind gleich leer. Ist nicht böse gemeint. Cut, Neustart, bringt ja so nichts. Ne? Das, ja, nicht deutlich genug. So, hello everybody. I'm gonna communicate today with the creator which have lived as a man before, and the creator communicated to me that he's one of the ancestors of the living human Suleiman Khatip, and I've seen Suleiman Khatip in a ZDF documentation. So ZDF is a German television channel with the German title Einstige Kämpfer streiten für Frieden im Nahost, also formal fighters do fight for peace in the Middle East was the title of that television series. And it was a Heute live series. That's the title of this video series from the channel ZDF. So I have seen Suleiman Khatip there, a man, and then this creator did contact me. The creator I'm communicating with now is today able to canalize the wind to these wind tools, and he's able, if he wants to agree to questions, so if he wants to say yes, to use a higher wind level. So he can use a higher wind level to present himself and canalize the wind specific to the wind tools. And he can use a higher wind level if he wants to say yes as a creator towards you, the people which are watching the video. Okay, that's for your better understanding. And in that way, I can communicate with the creator. So to the creator, can you demonstrate once that you can canalize the wind specific and clear so that the people which are watching the video can see that? And can you use a good wind level so that the wind tools then start to fly in the wind? And that's what the people can see now. Okay? The creator is triggering wind in the area of that tree where the wind tools are hanging. And that's why you could see more movement. Okay, and by raising the wind level to a higher point, the creator can communicate with me and can agree to questions. So the creator with that method can say yes. And I have other methods to communicate with that creator as well. And in that way, I'm able to present you the universal communication you're gonna see. So to the creator, which just did canalize the wind. You did contact me and you identified yourself as one of the ancestors of Suleiman Khatip. Is that correct? If that is correct, please trigger the wind stronger. So let the wind tools fly in the wind a little bit like you did before. So and now you can see that to this wind tool, and please use both wind tools. That's important because today I just did use two. The creator is canalizing the wind. You can see that this wind tool have more movement and more wind is coming to this area. Also, the other wind tool now starts to move. So the creator is canalizing more wind into this area to agree that he have identified himself, the creator which is canalizing the wind, as one of the ancestors of Suleiman Khatip, who I've seen in the video series as I described it by watching it on YouTube. So, to the creator, is it correct? Because we communicated a little bit before. Can you agree to that we did communicate yesterday already? regarding Suleiman Khatib and regarding the fact that you would like to produce a video to reach him and your family members. If that's correct, please trigger the wind. If that's correct, please use more wind. Cut, Neustart, aber letzter jetzt. Letzter Neustart. Was ist, möchtest du mit den Sternen arbeiten? Ich denke, das mit dem Wind ist auch wichtig. Tatsächlich, weil das ist das, was die Kamera da hinten einfängt. Den Stern nicht. Das ist zu weit weg. Guck mal, wie weit die Kamera da hinten wegsteht zum Beispiel. Die andere da hinten übrigens auch. Verstehst? Okay, nachdem wir das dann nochmal besprochen haben, beziehungsweise ich das erste Mal was dazu gesagt habe, was noch verständlicher ist, beziehungsweise so stimmt es auch nicht. Ein bisschen Wind machen, ja? Vernünftig. Das ist meine Kernfrage, weil das Problem hatten wir gestern schon, jetzt ist schon 3 Uhr und ich wollte nachher noch ein Video machen. Ich helfe dir gerne, aber dann, ja, okay, dann müssen wir uns jetzt zusammenreißen. Disziplin. Die grausame westliche Zivilisation und die Disziplin. Also, hello everybody, here's your Night Sebastian Power Seeker. Welcome to this video. Today I'm going to present you again universal communication with the creature which have lived as a human being before. And the creature I'm going to communicate with have lived as a man before and came into the situation that he have lost his human body. And today the creature is able to use the natural environment to present himself and to communicate with me and with you, the people which are watching the video. The creature have lived as a human before, as a man, as I said, and have lost his human body, and because of that, he have no own human body. But to communicate, he gonna use the tools you see over here, because the creature is able to use the wind. So the creature can canalize wind and react to questions. And by using the wind, the creature also can communicate and present himself. Okay? So what you're gonna see in the video is the reaction of these wind tools when this individual creature are gonna communicate with, gonna use the natural environment and gonna use weather control and gonna canalize the wind to the wind tools to react to my questions. And with that, some people will receive a live signal from this creature, because this creature have lived as a man before, as I said, and have lost his human body. So maybe some of his relatives or some of the people he did know are unsure if he died totally or if he survived the fact that he have lost his human body. Let me describe it like that. So you're going to see ancestors communication, universal communication, and are going to communicate with one of the ancestors of a man called Suleiman Khatib in this video. This Suleiman Khatib, who was also in a ZDF television series from Heute Live, with a German title called Einstige Kämpfer streiten für Frieden im Nahost, which means in English, formal fighters do fight for peace in the Middle East. Okay, so the man Suleiman Khatib was in a television series, and then the creator did contact me. The creator are gonna communicate with now, soon, and this creator did identify himself as a creator who have lived as a man before, who belongs to the direct ancestors of Suleiman Khatib, and as his grandfather. So I'm gonna start the communication, and important to understand is the creator should speak for himself, the creator I'm communicating with, and the creator can speak for himself by using and canalizing the wind. And I will start my communication now, and you will see that I'm gonna try to solve some questions for Suleiman Khatib. That I will try to solve the identification of the creature best as possible. Okay, and the creature, as I said, can use the natural environment and can canalize the wind. So you have the wind tools. I'm gonna explain them for a moment. And please listen carefully because it's going to be important for the whole video. Okay, so the creator can trigger the wind and use more wind if he wants to say yes, or if he wants to agree to something I speak out. And then you see more movement, because then the wind tools will start to fly in the wind if that happens. Okay, the creator can also say yes by using the stars you see on the wind tool. And important to realize is that the one side do have a star, and this side can get used to say yes. The other side, there's no star placed, and this side can use to say no. Okay, but you will realize that during the video, if the communication works out well, that you have to watch very closely, and you have to watch very carefully the tools, and you have to understand the tools will react to the wind level in this area as the plants. And I'm saying that because you also can watch out for the plants and the weather. So the creature I'm going to communicate with is today able to use the weather to present himself and to communicate with you, the people which are watching the weather and the natural environment. So you can also watch out for the plants, because in case the creator want to present strong emotions or want to agree to something strong, he can use more wind and more force, and then he can also trigger the wind, for example, to trees, or in case the creator want to make a point very clear visually for you, the people which are watching the video, then he can use the wind tools plus the natural environment, the plants behind me, because it can canalize the wind to the trees and to the plants. Okay, so hopefully you understood everything. If not, please take a piece of paper and a pen and write down the most important points from the stuff I just explained, because it's going to be important for the whole video, and then you may be able to realize how universal communication can work, and you are maybe able to follow the video and to understand it better. Okay, and you're gonna be maybe able to understand the creator I'm gonna communicate with, which is sometimes not so easy, not only because the creator do not have a human body anymore. So you better understand it. So to the creator, which is one of the ancestors of Suleiman Khatib. The creator is presenting the star, turns the tool, and is shaking the tool with more wind to present himself, to make clear that he is here in the area and able to communicate. Okay? And he's turning the star to me and to the cameras. So I'm sitting here. If you watch the whole video, if we take long with the video, please be aware of this. If I watch here, there are two tools. Hopefully the cameras film both tools, but you will see I have two wind tools hanging here and a few cameras. So I'm using this wind tool with him as a primary tool, because he can turn the star also into my face, into my eyes. Okay, and he can present the star to the cameras. So sometimes he will communicate with me by turning the star to my eyes first. Then I'm gonna explain, and then he's gonna turn the star to the camera if he wants to agree to that as well. So you can see a lot of details if you watch out closely, if you watch the video closely, and maybe if it's important for you, if you are Suleiman Khatib or a family member, you're invited to repeat that, to rewind the video, to watch it again. And you're invited to contact me later if you want. because hopefully I can help you out a little bit if you are unable to communicate with this creature by yourself. So, to the creature which is canalizing the wind. So, is it correct you are a granddad of Suleiman Khatib? Is that correct? Is it correct? If yes is the answer, make it clear, please, by triggering the wind stronger, and the creature is triggering the wind stronger. Okay? To Suleiman Khatib, to the other people which are watching the video, please be aware I have to be very specific if I ask him questions, and I have to be very concentrated also. So do not get irritated if I try to be very clear in my communication with the creator. Okay? So the granddad, so you have lived as a man before, is logical. Yes, more wind is canalized in a way that the tool did shake, the star did shake in front of the camera. Okay, but it did not turn. If he wants to say no, he can also canalize the wind in a way that the tool would turn, for your better understanding. The video series I spoke about, where I saw Suleiman Khatib, by the way, was about the situation in Gaza at the moment, which is sad because at this moment in time, the Israelis and the Hamas are fighting with each other, and that will cause also civilian victims. So people die and to suffer because of the situation at the moment in Israel and Gaza. And Suleiman Khatib is from Palestine, and the video series was about the conflict situation at the moment, and a discussion about that situation there. So I'm gonna enjoy the day a little bit. So let me relax a little bit, and of course I'm gonna communicate with you um, to solve questions. He did present me the no. Yes, because I have a hard life, is truth, because of universal communication. So I can't really enjoy my days. But what I mean is, I have a quiet moment. It's at the moment it's not too stressful for me, so I wanted to enjoy that. But I accept you know. Um, so you are the granddad. I did ask you that yesterday. Is it correct that you are the granddad and you are connected to a woman as a granddad? You are his granddad because of a woman connection in the family. Is that correct? Family side is a woman. Is that correct? He's presenting the star to my eye. If that's correct, please turn the star a little bit to the camera. You wanted to make wind. You can also trigger the wind to a higher wind level if that's correct. If you want to agree, you can trigger the wind. So the wind was triggered, canalized. So the wind level was higher. So it's correct. You are. Is it correct? You are the granddad of Suleiman Khatib, and you are the granddad because of a female in the family tree. The connection is a woman. Yes. And the creator is canalizing the wind for that here and with the other wind tool as well. Okay? So he's agreeing to that. Because I'm not sure if both granddads of Suleiman Khatib have lost their human body. Is that the case? Is it the case that both granddads from Suleiman Khatib lost their human body? Is that a yes? He's turning the star to my eyes and to the camera with the primary tool, and the creator is triggering the wind. So that's a yes. So the other granddad of Suleiman Khatib, is he also reachable? Should I repeat that question that you have the chance to make that more clear? Yes? Okay. Yes. The other granddad of Suleiman Khatib is able to communicate as well? Yes? And the wind tool is pushed up. Okay? So first of all, he did push it with a little bit more wind, and then I did repeat the question. He did push it again, like he's demonstrating applying the wind, very specific to the movement of my hand. Okay? That's what you could see. So Suleiman Khatib, as far as I can understand it, this creature is the granddad, and the connection is a female from your family tree. And you do have another granddad who also lost his human body, if I understood that correct. And also that creature is reachable and able to communicate. And I'm gonna ask this creature, which identified himself as your granddad with the female connection in the family tree, again, did I understood everything correct? So was everything correct how I explained it? Yes, presenting the star, and then presenting the star there and triggering the wind. So that's a yes. Okay, there you could see how specific that can work. So if I do practice universal communication with creatures which have lived as human beings before, first of all, for those of you which do not know my videos, it is very stressful for me, the living human. So I have to be very concentrated on all that. And sometimes I have to optimize my communication with the creatures. And sometimes the creatures, even if they're able to control the natural environment, sometimes they have to optimize their way how they communicate, how to so that it is clear for the cameras, that you later can see it in the video material good and all that. That's what you have seen a little bit here in the video as well. That's quite normal in the beginning, especially if you did not communicate very much with the creator before. With you, I did communicate yesterday for a longer while. Yes, because we produced one video. But this video is not in the internet, and I think I will not make it to upload it. Instead of that, we produced this video because we wanted to produce one which is a little bit better, and we tried it. Yes, okay. And so sometimes I do document stuff twice or three times, and then of course I do not make it to upload all the video material. That's for the better understanding for Suleiman Khatib and for the family members. Regarding the identification, I always try to check with my mom also if she can check identification of creatures like this one if I communicate with them and if I upload videos to the internet. My mom is also a creature which have lived as a woman before, is logical, but she have lost her human body, so she's also a creature which do not have a human body anymore, and I'm also able to communicate with her. So let me think. Do you want to invite Suleiman Khatib and your other family members to send questions in case they would like to check your identification with test questions, for example, or in case they have other questions? If you want to say yes, trigger the wind clearly, and he did present the star already to the cameras. If you want to say yes, please trigger the wind clearly, and then it's all right with me. He's presenting the star to me also, to the cameras, and can you trigger the wind? So can you let the tool fly a little bit in the wind? Yes. Okay. So he will let the wind tool fly a little bit in the wind now, and with that, the creator is inviting Suleiman Khatib or other family members which maybe see this video to send questions to me. If they want to do that, for example, test questions. So tests he can solve, the creator, which is the granddaughter of Suleiman Khatib, and that would give the creator the chance to prove his identity as the grandfather of Suleiman Khatib, best as possible for the family members, if he solves the questions the family might have. Okay, and that's why the family members are invited to do so. And you, the creator, you would like to invite them, would like to answer such questions in case they have trouble because you have lost your human body with a good identification. Is that he's presenting the star? Just trigger the wind because you already presented the stars. That was already done. Just trigger the wind if you want to say yes, and then that would be good. But please make it very clear because that's also your private family stuff, right? So you have to be very clear to the cameras. And the creator, the granddad of Suleiman Khatib, the creator which is identifying himself as the granddad of Suleiman Khatib, is canalizing the wind to agree to that and to invite the family members to send some questions in case they want to do that. Okay, and the invitation is, of course, because he have lost his human body, because for other humans like his own family members it might be maybe hard to imagine, or there might be maybe trouble to imagine the identification and all that. So the best is to invite families to test that out, to check this creator, so that the creator have the chance to bring the proof to the family by solving all the questions and by doing test questions and stuff like that. So that's why I said that. Yes, okay. So, and you would solve such questions? Yes, that's a clear yes by triggering the wind. Okay, he presented the star before to me. Present to camera? To me? Okay, and to the camera? Do you want to present to the camera? And he's turning the tool to the camera. There you can see how specific it is. Okay, and you can trigger the wind if you want that, because the wind is very good for the cameras. Then the people always have the movement and more movement. Yeah, that's good. Okay.